Hey, beautiful eyes. Oh my god. Why is it so blurry? What is happening? That's a little better. Hmm. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done mental health chat in a while. And apparently, I don't know if anyone is going to show up, but a lot of people were like, "Do you even do those anymore? You know, I really need to talk." And I'm like, "Okay." So, I'm here. So, um I told them at 3, so I got 2 more minutes, but I'm just trying to finish up some lunch. What's going on with my camera? Hmm, something is going on with my camera. I don't know what's happening. I think my cat has been fucking with my camera. But yeah, I'm live now, and in about maybe 2 hours, like 5 o'clock, I'm gonna go live on TikTok and do my makeup because I was invited to go to my friend's birthday bash concert thing at Your Mama's House Bar in Denver. So I'm gonna go there. I don't want to be looking like a clown or looking ordinary or some shit. So I'm gonna try and look cute and go. Um, you know, just turn it off. But yeah, so I'm just seeing if anybody is actually gonna show up. Like they said, they were like in such need. So hopefully we get somebody to chat with. If not, then that's also fine too. Um, oh, yay, we have someone. Hi, Tracy. Hey, Mama. You okay? You sound really, really sad.
I'm not okay.
What's the matter, love?
Everything.
What's going on?
The whole world is shitting on me. And I can't take it anymore. But I know you've got enough of your own stuff going on, so I don't want to dump on you.
No,
Just,
go, dear
I'm
heart.
having a real
That's
hard time.
that's why I'm here, honey. That's why I'm here. I mean, you didn't have to wait until like my live chat. I mean, I've I've been I think I missed last month, but I just got really busy, and I mean, yeah, I've had my own shit to go through, but talk to me. What's happening, honey?
Well, today I guess I started the grief process of losing someone really special from my life.
Mm-hmm.
I know I got overly attached to him, and that was the problem. He's married and closer to Brennan's age than my own.
Is that the one you were telling me about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I decided that I wanted to explore that connection that I felt to him the first moment he spoke to me. And, was it real or did I just imagine it? Well, obviously, I just imagined it. And the only, you know, all I was an obligation of doing his job to him. So,
I'm
and
sorry.
really, the way that it ended, it didn't have to happen that way
Mm-hmm.
because he was leaving his job anyway.
Mm-hmm. So, so what exactly was the problem for him? Like,
what he said to me was some of my reactions to things were not okay.
Reactions to, like, just an example, because I mean I'm kind of like philandering over here. I don't.
Well, there was one time, so would he worked mostly Monday and Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and um, Tuesday, a lot of times he would tell me what hours he was supposed to be working, and a lot of times he left before those hours were up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one time I went, um, so it was, we have run club on Tuesday. I walk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I got back from my walk and he'd already left.
Mm-hmm.
And um, it upset me. And so I said something to Hugo, they've been friends before. They
Mm-hmm.
were even working together there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Did you send him home before I got back?" And he said, "No, he left before you got back on his own."
Mm-hmm.
And I just think,
That he was trying to like avoid you or something.
well, I don't know because I mean, there are other times when I was already back when he left, when he went out of his way to say bye to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But um, other things are maybe, well, he was at karaoke night, the last karaoke night, and I didn't know he was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty excited about it. And
Yeah.
so I told him, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. I'm going to do my happy dance."
Right.
Because being around him, I told you the whole world is shitting on me right now. He was the one thing that made everything better.
Yeah.
Just having him talk to me, forget about the rest of the world. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He made me feel better.
Yeah. I mean, and there are some people that come into your life that just naturally do that. And I mean, it may not even be like an attraction. It's just their presence, their aura is light for you, you know? I mean, I think we all have those people in our lives. And it sucks when they're gone and you're like, fuck.
Exactly. Especially at such a low time in my life. So just stuff like that. And really, I think things were okay until a couple Saturdays ago. I had a big blow up fight with one of the Zumba friends. She's neighbors with Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
so they're really close.
Mm-hmm.
And I said how this is as close to suicidal as I've been in nearly 20 years. And she proceeded to lay into me every vicious, vile, hurtful thing she could about who I am and my behavior and this and that. I mean, it was so vicious. And part of it was my obsession with Travis, which she mentioned right there in the middle of the tap room where Hugo was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he heard that and he passed it on. And they all talked about how he needed to back off from me
And so he did.
because it happened right after. Because I've been struggling with my job for a year. The people who live above me have been torturing me for a year.
Yeah, like when I was there, you were saying like they were just like really loud and just horrible
All hours
people.
of the day and night. I can't work. I can't sleep. It's
Is it?
constant torture.
Can you like? Can you like? Tell the manager or like?
I've tried. They don't care. And but
I mean,
that
because
was
you also have renters' rights. So I mean, because you rent that place, right? You have renters' rights. So if somebody is disturbing you, you have the right to like call the police on them. You
I
know.
tried that too. Well, we didn't hear anything. Well, come into my apartment and hear what I hear.
Yeah.
But the good news I got this week, though, is Brennan saw their apartment listed on Zillow
Mm-hmm.
as available September 3rd.
Good.
Yes, so least that is going
You
to
have a
be
little peace and you'll have a little peace and quiet. Where's my dog? Bo, what are you doing? I'm sorry, my dog is tweaking. Matt left, and now my dog is tweaking, and it sounded like a door opening, and I'm like, I know you locked the door, so who's in my house? Like, Bo's not barking, so I don't know what's happening, but
Anyway, the only thing saving me right now is my kickboxing.
so are you going to be going back to your Zumba class?
Yeah, I'm still going. I'm just staying hell away from the gym.
No, no. All right, no. Sorry, like
It's okay.
no, not for Bo's. No, no. Get away from my knitting stuff. I kill you. This whenever I'm distracted, it's like boom, boom. Like that's what the sound like knocking was. He dropped my freaking hey over here, so I can see you. No, this is not biting time. Down. Good boy. He waits until I'm distracted, and then he goes and gets into shit, and then I'm like, what is happening? No, but so is that the only thing that's going on? Like, well, I'm sorry. It's I know that like I don't know when you mess with people's hearts, it's like I've been struggling a little bit myself with that. It's like, you know, people are like, I want to spend more time with you. But it's like, okay. And then I give them opportunity to spend time with me. And then they're like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, okay, so you're just making excuses then? And it's like, well, I need to do better. Yeah, don't tell me do it. It's like I've been feeling like really like unimportant, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're so special to me." Well, I don't feel special because you're not making me feel special. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, so okay, so I started a new job, and I haven't actually said this publicly, but now I'm gonna say it publicly. Not that anyone is here but you and me, and no one's like present on YouTube. So, but basically, so I worked for a family member, and they fired me, and they had done it before. When they did it before, they literally like they were drinking and stuff like that, and they were talking about like their kid and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I don't even talk to your kid, so there's no way that I could be like the medium here. I don't talk to them either. So, I mean, I'm sorry you're feeling this way, but anyway, they were drinking, and so I was like, maybe that should be your last drink for the evening because they had been drinking since like I had started my shift, and it wasn't that they weren't just like guzzling it, but they were just drinking like freaking all day, and I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, I know everybody gets into those moods, they're depressed or sad or whatever, and um they want like a quick answer, but I don't have the answer. I don't know, and it's like I'm not in family mode right now, I'm in caregiver mode. So, I'm trying to do what's best for my client, and so I'm like, maybe that should be your last drink. So they interpreted it as I'm an alcoholic. And I'm like, I never said that you were an alcoholic, but that's what you're saying. I didn't say that at all. I just said, hey, maybe that should be your last drink, because they were like repeating themselves over and over. And you know how like, people start drunk talking. That's what was happening. And I was just like, and then they were crying, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do here. So I was like, okay, first let's stop drinking, finish your drink, and then we'll get you settled in bed or whatever. I'll maybe get you something to eat to sop up some of that alcohol or something. And I'm not hungry. Okay, well, fucking I don't know what to do. And I kept trying to change the subject away from their kid, but they just kept going back to there. And I'm like, obviously it still bothers them, and it's been a while. And which is understandable. I mean, again, pulling at the heart, it sucks. When people disappoint you or they don't love you like you think that they should or treat you the way that you think that they should and stuff like that, that bothers everybody because everybody is human. Everybody has those same feelings. So, and I totally get it because, I think about their kids sometimes and I'm like, I'm more than happy to like try and like work out whatever issue we have, but I can't be the one to just keep making the all the effort here. If you don't want to be around me because whatever hypocritical thing you're doing or saying, that's on you. And now come to find out that this certain child like has a heart murmur and then her husband has cancer, it came back, and just they're dealing with all these issues. And then I think their oldest daughter has like autism, like she's seriously autistic, like she's like 3 and she doesn't talk. She's like and I'm like, oh my god. And not to, I'm not like making fun of people or anything like that, but it's like I think your child has autism and you've got to get her checked so that way she can, you can try and help her try and function as much as she can in this fucking world that we're in. She can't be 10 years old going, if she has the ability to like talk normally and stuff, help her help her because what's going to happen is she's going to get you're going to get frustrated with her and you're going to hurt her or something like that, and that's not good. So work with her, get her the help so that way you can get the help too to learn how to take care of this child. And I don't know about their son because they have a son, a daughter and a son, so I'm like I've only seen him once, like in a picture, that's all. But I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So so she fired me and she was just like, I just don't think that this is going to work out. And it's like, okay. So I was like, I went to go and get my crap from her house. And like, my job was like, well, why don't you try again? I was like, why do I have to try? She's the one who fired me. And she's talking all crazy and all this stuff. And she wouldn't budge. And then they couldn't find help for them. And so then like 2 weeks later, they were like, would you mind going back to help them because we can't find anybody and they're not happy with anybody that we send them. So I said, okay. So I told them, I said, hey, I'll go back, but if this happens again, I'm not going to go back because this is bullshit. Family or not, this is abuse. I'm not going to be, that's fucked up. And so sit, good boy. So it's like, okay, so it was awkward when I first started going back to work with them, and then I still had it in the back of my mind, but I was like, okay, let's let's move on. We've had some tiny little bumps, but they weren't anything. This last time, they needed to go to the store. We ran errands. We did all this stuff. Came, um, brought her to my house. So, Bo was like chewing on her head and she was happy and blah, 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 and tee, and all this other stuff. And then the next day, literally, no, not even the next day, that night, I'm chilling like a villain. And then at 11:30 at night, I get these text messages talking about how she doesn't want to be, you know, a reason why me and Matt break up, and all like he had texted her and said all this stuff about our relationship, and I'm like, what? So I asked Matt, I'm like, hey, have you spoken to so and so? And he's like, no. Why? Because there was a problem before, and he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna message them ever again because it went. They took it out of context and it just miscommunication. And I was like, why didn't anybody ask me? What is happening here? Why are you talking behind my back? Talk to me here. But anyway, so he was like, yeah, I no, I'm not messaging them. No, they're crazy. Whatever. What's happening? So they go on, and I'm like, are you dreaming? Or did you wake up from a nightmare? Like, what is happening? So I'm trying to like figure it out, and they won't talk to me. They won't tell me. They're just like, no, you're better off without me, and you can find a better client. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I said, and so I said, um, I had said when I'm done taking care of you and my other client that lives in Parker, I think I'm probably going to be done in like the healthcare industry for a while because it's like I'm tired. And it's like I haven't been taking, doing it forever, but I'm tired of taking care of other people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's like I have no room to take care of myself. And my mental health is suffering, my physical being is suffering, I wouldn't say my finances, but it was suffering a little bit. I'm all in whole not well because I'm not taking care of myself because I'm too busy trying to make sure that you're okay, my other clients okay, all these things. And I'm like, "Oh my god." So, I'm like, "Okay." So, I say this and they're like, "I don't care. This is what I want." And I'm like, "But why do you want this?" And they're like, "It doesn't matter. This is what I want. Find somebody else to take care of." And I'm like, "Okay." So I get no explanation, no reasoning of just, "Oh, you're fired." So then I'm like, "Well, I got my stuff at your house. Let me come and get it." "No, I'm going to put it outside on the balcony." So you're worried, like, when I was taking care of them and like we would put like their plants on the porch and stuff, they'd be like, "Well, don't put my stuff out there because people around here will steal my stuff." But you're more than happy to put my shit on the balcony so somebody could possibly steal my shit. And it's like electronic stuff. And I'm like, "You're not putting my shit out there." And so at the same time that she's sending me all this crazy shit in text message, she's also texting my boss saying the same crazy shit. And so my boss the next day is like, "What is happening?" And I'm like, "Beats the hell out of me. I don't know." And they're like, "Well, what happened?" And I'm like, "This is how our day went yesterday." I told her exactly how our day went. And she was just like, "So they're just, where did this come from?" I'm like, "I don't know." So then the client tells my boss that they feel like and I don't know who we is. I don't know who we is, but that she feels that we think she's stupid and some other stuff. And I'm like, "What?" I'm so confused. And I haven't talked to them since. And they haven't messaged me. And before that, they were just sending me messages and just TikToks and TikToks. And even like up to 2 hours before this happened, they were just sending me TikToks just like crazy. And I'm like, "Okay." So that's why I'm thinking everything is normal. And then all of a sudden, "None, I want you to come back." And I'm like, "Were you sleeping and you had a nightmare? Like, what is happening?" So the next day when I spoke to them, I tried to call them and they were like, "I don't want to talk to you. Just find somebody else to take care of." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "What is happening?" So now you're fucking with my money. You know what I mean? And so then they call me back the next morning at like 7:30. And they're like, "Hey, is everything okay with this family member? You called me at like 11:40 because you sent me some crazy ass messages and I'm trying to figure out what the shit, Lana, what is going on? Like, are you okay? Like, are you mentally sound? Like, what is happening? Do I need to call Humana? Do I need to call 911? Do you need meds? Like, what is happening?" Like, that's what I called for. Not because somebody's sick, because I'm worried that you're sick. Like, what is happening? And they're like, "No, I'm fine." And, but I meant what I said. Don't come back. And I'm like, "Well, I'm coming to get my shit then." And so they were just like ready to rush me out of there. And so my boss was like, "They're just really picky about who comes to take care of them. And they're always boasting about, like, no one's like Bernicia. Find somebody like Bernicia." And she's like, "There's no one like you. Who does she expect me to just bring in there? She's not happy with anyone. She bitches about everyone. So, like, what the fuck?" And so they're like, "Well, I hope that she realizes that she's losing out on a good thing here because, you know." So then I go to my other job that same day, and she's like, "How's it going?" Because my face was all fucked up. I had been crying and was all upset, and she was like, "What's going on?" So I told her, and then she was like, "Oh fuck," and I was like, "What?" And she was just like, "You're getting fired again." And I was like, "What?" And so she fired me, and she was like, "It's not my fault. It's she needs more help for the client that I take care of there." And she was like, "Well, at the time, she would have asked me, but at the time, she thought I was still taking care of this other family member. And most of my time was over there. And so she didn't ask me. And so, like, the company that I worked for with them was like, well, we're not going to take you on anymore. So we're basically firing you." And she's like, "Yeah. So in turn, I have to fire you because I can't afford to pay you out of pocket." And so she's like, "So you got fired in twice in one day. Ah, I'm sorry, this is really bad." I'm like, "You got jokes." I was like, "Oh my fucking God. Oh my God." Like, and she was just like, "Don't be sad." And I'm like, I, I don't really fucking know what to do. So the next day, or that morning, or before I came to that client, Matt was like, "Hey, why don't you um go check out, since you're all into plants and stuff, why don't you go to the nursery that I temp for sometimes and see if they're hiring?" And they hired me. So then I started working like 3 days later. So I'm like, yay. So I get paid more for working less, but I actually, I don't work as many hours as I did over there, but it still kind of is about the same, that I would be bringing home anyway. It's only like maybe 150 or 200 to 250 difference from what I was making there, which is fine for me. And I actually get paid every 2 weeks. So it's like, okay, cool. Or twice a month. So that's better for me, because at the other job, I was getting paid on the first, on like once a month. So, you know, yeah, I'm like not struggling with that. But then it's a struggle because I've been used to making payments on like my credit cards, like a big amount of, you know, big sum, and now I can't. It's like half or like a third of that, because I have to get gas and all this stuff. But all my jobs and stuff are like over here now, so I don't have to go downtown and come back. And that's like I in a week I maybe use up maybe half a tank of gas. Before, I was filling up every week. So this is fun. I mean, with how the gas is now, I'm like, this was a blessing in the sky. So I mean, and that's how I've been trying to see it. And yes, I get sad sometimes because I'm still worried about the family member, and like, what the fuck, are they okay? Because if they're doing this, if they did it before, they're doing it now, it's just going to keep going downhill for everybody that they take care of. You know what I mean? And then, like, they have epilepsy and stuff, and it's just kind of like, so I'm extremely worried. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to, their birthday is next week, so I'm just going to send them a message and be like, hey, happy birthday. If they respond, cool. If not, then I'll be like, see, you pushed me away. I'm like the only like family that you really like talk to, and you pushed me away. Why? I don't know. So I've been grieving from the loss of a family member who's alive. It's like, what the fuck? So I'm just like, oh my God. And so like after that, then like my friend who lives down the street, she's in the plants too. And so she was like, well, I want to start this business, but I kind of want a partner. And the first person I thought of was you, because number one, you live down the street. Number one, or number two, like, you're like my only friend. And like we get along really well. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not your only friend. She's like, well, I mean, I'm friends with, like, I mean, I talk to like my husband's like band members' wives, but we're not like hanging out like we do. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, oh, that's sweet. So now I co-own the Painted Lady. I think I invited you to that. Um, the Painted Lady plant shop. And she's like, we should get matching tattoos. And I'm like, okay, because I have this ink and that's it. And this is not plant related. So, but we gotta get, like, there's so much that we gotta do. And then it's like, so, I mean, I've been really sad and like really depressed, but I'm also like, hey, quiet. I've been trying to like be grateful for the things that are happening, because yeah, I got fired from both of my jobs all at once, but I also landed another job the same day. I also got another job, you know, co-owning my own business, like a week later. I have my hair care product business. So I'm 40 and I have two small businesses under my belt right now. Most people can't say that. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I'm grateful. I mean, and yes, I'm not like racking in the money, but I'm doing something. I'm not just sitting here on my ass. You know, at my job, the nursery, I walk all the time, and I've been trying to like, you know, I eat like a small, something for breakfast, and then I have like a more bigger meal at lunch because I'm usually hungry around like 2:33. Bo, come here. Here, Bo. I heard boom, boom, boom. It sounds like, your neighbor's upstairs. He's running. I'm like chasing after the cat. I'm like, what the shit is that? It's the dog because he's not here. Here, Bo. You know you're in trouble. Get here. Get over here. Lay down. Down. I'm not petting you. Not down. Lay down. I don't want to hear crap. See, you're talking shit. Kind of crap. But yeah, it's like, so like, and then like for dinner I make my meal, or like I make my plate, and most of the time I'm only able, like, if this much food is on my plate, I'm only able to eat about this much of it. And so I'm like changing how I eat stuff, and I'm trying to drink more water, and it doesn't really matter what I eat. I just eat what I want. I mean, I'm not diets are always failing me, so I'm not doing the diet bullshit. That's played. That's not going to happen. But I will, like, lessen my portions and stuff, and because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to actually, I think, eat like a bow. This boy is getting on my nerves. Um, I think you're supposed to eat like a moderate here. Hold on, I'm gonna close this gate so he can stop disappearing. Now, down. Now you can't run upstairs. Crazy neighbor. Um, but but yeah, so it's like I've been, I've just been trying to like adjust, and since I started working, and since I've stopped working for this family member, like Matt's even like noticed. He's like, you smile more, you talk more, and stuff like that. I mean, I have my days. Like this week has been horrible. I'm like in this depressive mood. I'm just like I can't get out of it, and I'm like the most worthless person ever. And like, he's like, that's not true. And then like Andy's like, this not true. And then my best friend's like, that's not true. And my business partner's like, that's not true. And I'm like, well, this is how I feel. I subconsciously know that that's not true. But my trolls are like, no, you're worthless. This is that. And a lot of times they're more overpowering than what's going on out here. You know what I mean? The mind is a powerful thing. And like, I wish I could throw them bitches out and just like throw them in jail or something, but I just. Uh,
My demons are telling me I'm unlovable.
well, you're not. I love you very much. There's actually some lady at my job, and every day I see her. She sounds like you. She looks a little bit like you, and she's older. And she talks like you, and I'm just like, I keep wanting to call her Tracy, and then I'm like, that's not Tracy. What is her name? Is it Kim? Like Stephanie? I don't. I still don't know her name, but I keep wanting to call her Tracy. And then, but she's just like, "Hi, B. How are you?" And she's just like, she just do 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 do. She just be Scooby Dooing through. And I'm just like, oh my god, that is Tracy when she's old. Tracy gets old, that is gonna be her. Just like with some little glasses, and she's just like, and just she'd be sitting outside, just basking, just Scooby Dooing, just. Oh, do you need help? Oh, okay. Let me just do. And I'm just like, oh my god. makes me happy every time I see her. I'm just like, oh. And then she like, she'll ask me questions like you do, like just out of the blue, just be like, how are you today? Oh, yeah, well, I like this and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I'm just looking at her. I'm just like, I love you. I don't know you very well. You totally have the spirit of my friend Casey. I'm just looking at her going, like the other day when I messaged you, I was just kind of like, I was sitting there and she sat at the table with me because I was weeding, and she was just like, "How are you doing, B?" And she was talking to me, and I was like, "That reminds me. Hi, Tracy. What's up?" I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta say hi. Oh my god, this is terrible." I'm like, I just missed you so much, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta see Tracy. I gotta talk to her. What's happening?" And then come to find out, you're having your own problem, and I was like, oh well. I mean, like I said, you didn't have to like wait till the mental health chat. I mean, I'm here. You have my number. You can call me, girl. You live down the road. You bring your ass. We'll crack a beer and just be like, it's cool. Matt will probably be like, "Are y'all crying? What the fuck? What is happening?" Be like, "It's girl time. Get out. We're having girl time." But yeah, I'm like, so
I
yeah.
have to tell you one of the things that Travis helped me with. I told him about my fear of dogs, and one night this friend of his came in and brought his dog in and sat the dog down on one of the bar stools.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis came over to me and he like whispered in my ear, "If you're uncomfortable, we can move you to the other end of the bar." And it was so sweet about it. And I was like, no, it's okay. This dog seemed really, cool and gentle. And I actually pet this dog.
Aw,
And I
nice.
know that it's because he had this calming effect on me that I was able to do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bo's still Bo, but but I'm the only one he like really is like fighty time. So I mean, you know he's a lot better. He gets better the more and the older he gets. He's gonna start really really calming down pretty soon. I hope, but he's only 2. But he you know like my friend Tony came over yesterday for dinner, and he was crazy and just blah blah, and then after about 15 minutes he was like blah, okay, nobody's paying attention to me. I was just gonna lay here. And it's like, yeah, you do that, little punk. So I mean, he's getting better. He just gotta get that like adrenaline. He's like, new person, and he's gotta get that out of his system, and then he's fine. So it's like, yeah, please just stop trying to kill everybody who comes in here. He's like, I just want everyone to be your friend, but not everybody wants to be your friend. They don't want Bo in their face right now. Just sit down. Hi, hi. Would you like to say hi to Tracy? Say hi.
I go,
Can you say hi? You're not getting my milkshake. Sorry, bro. Sorry. He's just like, can I have some? No, not today, Tiny Satan.
I have lost 23 pounds since January,
Good. That's awesome.
but I'm taking phentermine.
I don't know what that is.
It's a appetite suppressant, but
Oh,
it also increases your heart rate.
um,
So I have to go in monthly and get weighed and blood pressure check and pulse check.
make sure that nothing's going wrong and stuff like that. You're not gonna have a crazy arrhythmia and you 5 pounds gone. Yeah, I mean I don't know. I mean I gotta I don't know. I gotta do something to up my game. Is it raining? I think it's raining. I
So
smell
I'm
rain.
doing so much activity. I'm doing kickboxing on Sunday morning, Zumba on Monday, well, I had been doing run club on Tuesday. I'm now kickboxing on Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
instead. Um,
Ow, ow, ow,
we
girl.
have a kickball team
Oh
on
wow.
Wednesday.
Oh wow, girl. You need.
Thursday night I kickbox. Friday at noon I kickbox. Saturday morning I have Zumba. So
Yeah, I was. I need to get into some kickboxing so I can get some of
it
my
is
aggression
so
out.
helpful with this stuff I got going on. The one night I told Jamaica, she's one of the owners of the kickbox place, I said, I might cry. If I do, it's okay. I'm okay. Just and she said, oh, a lot of people do. It's okay. I
Yeah.
didn't that night, but I hit that bag harder than I ever had.
Yeah, I might have to join you for a class or two, especially like on Mondays, because now and so with my new schedule, I actually have time to have a life. So, so I have Fridays off, I have Sundays and Mondays off. So I'm like, yay! I actually had yesterday off only because I requested it off, but I actually need to talk to my job about them giving me at least one Saturday off a month, so I can do these because I mean usually I do the mental health chats on Saturdays, but you know, I was telling my one of my coworkers, I was like, yeah, I mean, I could do my mental health chat here at work, but that would be kind of weird, especially if somebody walks up and they're just kind of like, I mean, I can't really be in two places at once. I can't be on YouTube and Google Meet at the same time on my phone. You know what I mean? So it's you know what? Whoa, settle down. And it's like if somebody walks up and they're just like, "Hey, are you talking to yourself?" And they're like, "No," and that'll kill my battery. I already know. For an hour, that'll kill my battery. I'll be running around. Oh my god, I need to charge. And not only that, if somebody walks up and they're like, "Hey, can you help me?" It's like then I have to stop and especially if somebody's like pouring their heart out and they're like, ah, and then it's like, I'm sorry, hold on a second. Yes, the ficuses are over here. Yeah, that's not going to be very professional. Not that I'm a doctor or anything, but it'd be like, I'm so sorry, somebody needed a plant. So what were you crying about? That, that's not cool. What were you crying? What was happening now? I'm sorry, I totally missed that whole thing. That's not gonna be cool. So settle down. But yeah, I'll be going live on a TikTok here in a couple hours because I'm gonna do my makeup. I gotta go shower and because my friend's little birthday bash thing is this evening at 7:30. It's like a concert at your mama's house. I've been trying to I like my business partner and her husband were supposed to go with us, but they have COVID, so they can't go. Yeah, and I'm just like demon. So so I've been trying. I have their tickets, and so I'm like trying to like sell them or give them away, just like as long as they get used. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to find people to like go, and I'm like, you can give me the money back for it. I mean, it's only $10, or buy me a drink. Fuck, I don't care. But I've been trying, so like, one person said that they might go, but I don't. They're like, why? I won't be there until like about 9:30, and I'm like, well, I mean, we're gonna be there at 7:30, and I'm I'm literally waiting until like my friend's band is done, and if it's like unless he's the last person to like play, then I'll be like, damn, my God, because it's like I've never seen him play. So, but it's gone until like midnight, and I'm like, yeah, midnight's not gonna happen because I mean, I'd rather be at home in bed playing on my phone at midnight if I'm gonna be awake. No, I mean, because I just got too much stuff to do.
I don't know if you saw the picture of me with the band that I posted recently,
Mm-mm.
but that's my Zumba instructor's significant other. He has a band, and I finally got to hear them. Um, he does karaoke night, and one time was last October.
Yeah, I saw you post about a karaoke night, but I don't know if that was it or not.
Well, anyway, he came to this one karaoke night when we had it on a Saturday, and I think I was getting up to go to the bathroom because I stood up and his guitar player started singing. And oh my God, this guy has the most velvet voice ever. I almost had like a When Harry Met Sally moment, only it was actually real. I mean, that's how amazing his voice was.
See, see, voices, man. Oh God. Ugh.
So
Ah!
I was excited to get to hear him sing a little bit
Ugh.
again.
Ugh. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine singing all up in your ear and you're like,
He can
ah?
sing to me anytime. Anytime.
That's one of my things. Like, don't whisper in my ear unless you're gonna do something. Don't play with my neck unless you're gonna do something. Cause don't tease me with a good time if you're just gonna like, yeah. Don't, you can text me. You don't have to like. Don't whisper in my ear unless you're planning to do something. Like I said, just text me. And if you're seeing or talking, it's over. It's like, whoa, get away. If you're not available, just if you're not trying to get some, just get away. Ain't nobody got time for this. But yeah, I mean, so, Bo, what do you want, child of the night? What do you want, furry Satan? Sit with your little eyes glowing all red, little demon dog. But yeah,
When my initial falling out with Lynn and Shannon was like back in February.
you're what?
Initial falling out with Lynn and Shannon was
Oh,
in February. And
mm-hmm.
the only reason I started talking to them again is because Jen, the one who owns the brewery that hosts our Zumba,
Uh huh.
asked me to. I was very cautious about it. And we had actually finally started getting things mostly back where they were, only I wasn't sharing personal stuff with them
Mm-hmm.
anymore. I'm done with that. And then the shit with Shannon, the shit show, I will not allow her to do that to me ever again.
Yeah, that's one thing that after I got fired and stuff like that. I think I even did like a TikTok about it, and I was just like, it wasn't about getting fired because I haven't even really said that there, but I was just like, I am no longer
First
available
love.
for anyone to, whether you're friend, family, or foe, to treat me like shit. I'm not for it. I'm not for it. If you don't have good intentions for me, bye, Felicia. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't, now if it's, you would have to have a serious excuse, like a literal like death in the family, or you got hit by a car, or that's why you tripping and something serious. You can't just be like, oh, somebody pissed in my Wheaties. Well, I wasn't that someone. Don't come over here with that, because if I'm treating you with respect, then don't do it to me. And then it like, ticks me off that like sometimes like like Matt, he has a um sometimes he has like a bad habit of starting an argument and then getting mad, because then if he comes at me like a dick and then I reciprocate and I'm a dick back, then like he explained it to me once, and I was like, he said that if say I come in from work and I've had a good day, it's not a bad day, I just come in and he's a dick to me. If I'm a dick back, then he has the right to not want to like deal with me or anything like that, even though he was a dick to me first. I have to come to him normal in like a loving tone. And I looked at him like, that's not how this works. Like, if you're a dick to somebody, and then it's only normal for us to like our defenses to go up and be like, what the shit? What's wrong? Hey, what you want? You know what I mean? What's going on here? You don't just get good treatment for being a dick. That's not how this works. That's like entitled bullshit. Like, what? And I know your parents didn't raise you like that. Come on now. And he's like, well, That's just how I am. Well, then you can't expect to get great treatment when you're a dick to people. And so the other day, I was in a mood, and I was a dick to him first, and then like in that, then he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be around you because you're being a dick and blah 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 and blah blah blah." That's justified with him not wanting to hang out with me because I was being a dick. You know, I don't expect him. And I was like, oh, but when you're a dick to me and I'm a dick to you back, then you're either way. You're just kind of like, I don't want to be around you. That's not how this works. You know what happened with the two of us the other day with me being a dick and then you not wanting to spend time with me or being around me because I was being a dick. That's the proper like, and then I have to come to you and be like, yo, dude, I'm sorry. Shit. You know, but you can't be a dick to somebody and then expect them to be like, come and kiss your ass just so that you're not mad at them. What? What? Make this make sense, man. Like, I'm like,
No,
the,
dude.
yeah.
No.
The first thing I thought was this Negro crazy, and he's so white. I'm like, this fool crazy. What? Maybe I just don't understand because like, and like he had to sit there the other day when I said that I was like, oh, so you know you should be kissing my ass right now because I was a dick to you. That's how it works for you, right? If you're a dick to me, then I gotta come kiss your ass or whatever to like stay in your good graces, so we don't have a falling out. So you should be kissing my ass right now, right? That's not gonna happen. Well, then don't expect me to do it in the future. Well, come on. Like the thought in my head, like one of my trolls was like, "This fool got me fucked up," and then one of them was like, "No, don't do it." It was like the demon and the angel. It was just like, this fool got me fucked up. No, don't do it. Make it right. I was like, I gotta be somewhere in the middle. I I'll just be quiet. Why aren't you talking? What? Okay. So I should talk to you even though you're being a dick. Okay. No. Because if
When
I
I
said,
was at my parents' house and my dad was being like that, just like no matter what the topic was, he would just get argumentative about it. And then suddenly he was like, how come y'all got quiet? I still can't believe my mother actually said because you're turning all of it into an argument.
yeah. I mean, and then I mean, I got some large work to do because I mean, even though I've been in therapy for God knows how long, and I've been like working on it, and it's not moving as fast as I would like, but I still have a like really bad habit of like interrupting and being argumentative, and it's I wouldn't say that it's exactly my fault. I have some control over it, but then I don't have control over it because before I know it, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna listen, and then once he says something that I think is wrong, I'm like, no, that's not right. And it's just like I gotta remember to just like he's like, you need to pause, and I'm like, what is pause? What the fuck? What does that mean? And so he's like, it's an acronym. Here it is. And so he's like, you need to put it to memory and you need to practice it. And I'm like, so I've been trying to practice pause, trying, trying.
It's hard, especially
It's
when you're doing
hard.
that.
I mean, because you have to pay attention to like your okay. So let me see if I have this right, and I'm probably gonna fuck this up. So P is pay attention to like your body language, your attitude, your feelings, blah blah blah. A is to assess. Oh shit! Hold on. I have it. Damn it, I have it. I still have it. Okay. Yeah, I was right. Assess. Okay. Okay, so P is pay attention to my body, my thoughts, and my feelings. A is assess what is activating me. U is to understand where the roots of my feelings are coming from. S is to set boundaries and ensure safety. And E is to empathize with those involved. So the ones that really like freaking trigger me is like, okay, so I pay attention. I immediately am like, okay, I know I'm upset. I know I'm getting upset. I know I'm getting more upset. And then it says to breathe, but I never remember to breathe because breathing will actually help calm you down, even if you are pissed beyond passivity. But I always forget to breathe. So I have to remember, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, girl. I have been like, okay, so like assessing what is activating me. I did that yesterday actually when we were having a little argument. And I was like, I don't feel heard. I feel like you're just like trying to shut me up and I don't appreciate it and stuff like that. Um and then understanding the root of your feelings is to seek to resolve are you seeking to resolve a disagreement or maintain power or control over something or someone else? A lot of the things, a lot of the arguments that I have with Matt is not usually with other people, is to either part of me is like trying to control the situation because I feel so out of control, or to control him, or just control, um, or control the outcome of something because it feels like the end of the world is like happening. Um, as far as setting boundaries, I don't ever set boundaries or separate or like. It's rare that I'm like, Actually, yesterday I did um, separate. I was like, I gotta walk away. I'll be right back. Just give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. But it's rare that I walk away. So I guess that was, a good thing. And then as far as empathizing, that's the one that gets me because it says to everyone deserves respect. How are other people experiencing me? How can we create understanding? Um, what are others trying to express? I have a hard time with that one because often because I have that habit of over talking, especially Matt. I usually don't do it to anybody else, but it's usually Matt. Because I argue with him. He's the only one I argue with. I don't argue with anyone else, so I don't have the opportunity because I'm pretty sure if I argue with my friend, she'd be like, "B, what the fuck?" It's rare that we get into it, but when we do, it's like, I want to talk to her, whatever. Oh, she calling? What? I don't know what she want. I don't care. It's like, but but like with Matt, it's like I guess the whole how are people experiencing me, because I know how I feel when I'm so upset. I just feel kind of like out of control, and like I told him once that like when I'm so upset or like when I'm disturbed, like during an argument, sometimes it feels like my skin is falling off or like my skin is burning, and it's the weirdest sensation. I don't know how how better to describe that, but it's like the weirdest thing ever, and it's like if I just went like this, like all my and like pulled my face, all of my face would come off. It's just like it's I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's I don't know. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's so weird. And so I'm I get more frustrated during the argument because I'm trying to get that feeling to go away and it won't. It just magnifies and I'm like, "Oh my god, if you don't just stop telling me about myself, I'm going to just oh my it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling." And then like I know if I'm experiencing feeling like my skin is falling off, I can only imagine if he like him or anybody, like when they're looking at me talk and I'm like blah 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 and like during an argument, if they feel like their skin is peeling off, because I know that feels horrible to me. So it's like if they're experiencing something even close to that, it's horrible. So then I feel bad because I'm making them feel like their skin is is falling off. And that's it's horrible. It's horrible. And then just saying sorry is not going to cut it. And he's just like, don't say sorry because it's just like it doesn't mean anything. You just keep doing this stuff and interrupting me, and I don't like it. And I'm like, ah. Ugh. So those are problems that I create myself because I need to. That's what I need to get control over. Control of that. Of and he's like, "Do we need tape?" And I was like, "Yes, put some fucking tape on my mouth. I promise you. I'll still be talking shit under here, but you can't understand me. That way you can still get your shit in, and I can't hear myself, and then I'll hear you." And I'm gonna have to try that. Get some duct tape. I might rip all of my face hair. I get my little baby facial hairs off. Rip. Oh shit! Ooh, oh. Girl, what happened to your lip? Tate, what are you doing? I was trying to shut up. I was trying to shut my ass up from my argument, and I ripped my lips off.
Oh my god.
But I promise you, I'm gonna try that. The next time we get into an argument, I'm gonna have just the duct tape right behind the couch. What the fuck are you doing? Be like, I'm trying to shut up. Talk. Ow. I'm gonna have to try it. I'm so serious because it's like, or I don't know, find some way to pinch myself and be like, yeah, but ow. What are you doing? I'm punishing myself for talking out of turn. I'm trying to listen, and my mouth has a mind of her own. Literally, I can't shut her up, and it's like and then I'm frustrated because then I'm trying to hear what he has to say, but then I'm interrupting, and I'm like, I can't hear. Shut up. I'm crazy as fuck. Hi, Bo. You can't go outside. It is pouring cats and dogs. I'm sorry, honey. But yeah, I'm just. I got. I just keep. I'm just. I'm gonna be a work in progress. I just don't. I want to get this. I want to train myself to be respectful during arguments, especially because, like I said, this only happens with Matt because I don't. He's the only one I argue with, the only one. So it's I need to learn some self control so I can. Because I would really hate to be like a 90-year-old woman just over talking her chair in and just over talking everybody in the grocery store. I'm not even finished with a train of thought and I start a new one. And they're like, and they're just like, Miss Ofori, Miss or Miss Black, and I'm just over. What? What? The meeting is almost over. Can you wait 5 minutes? What you looking at? What's happening? If someone is up there, I'm leaving. He's all looking at the ceiling like he's looking at somebody for approval. Bro, if I have a poltergeist, if I'm ever on camera and y'all see an orb, please let me know. Because I'll be like, who is here? What? Why? What do you want? Please don't water my plants if you're going to do that. If you're going to be here, be useful. Water my plants. They all need it. Oh, Lord. But yeah, I mean, Matt never believes me. I tell him that all the time that whenever I'm talking to my therapist or talking to my friends and venting and stuff about stuff, I don't just go off about the shit that he does. You know what I mean? I tell you guys what the shit I'm guilty of too, because I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person by any means. I have some serious work to do. And I told him yesterday, I was like, I think your ass needs some therapy too. I think couples therapy would be very useful, because I mean, and he's like, why would I need therapy? Because you have your own shit. And just because you believe it doesn't mean that it is true. Just because you think it should be, this should work for our relationship or any relationship you have, doesn't mean that it actually will work. Your word isn't bond, bro. You know, oh well, I was in therapy before. Okay, great. And yeah, I was in therapy before, and look at where I am now. I'm back in therapy. Your ass need to get back in therapy, because I'm pretty sure a therapist would probably tell you that, hey, I think you. Why do you think that? And then be like, okay, well, I think your manner of thinking, as scientific and wonderful as it sounds coming out of your mouth, it's totally untrue. You know, you need to get some of your facts straightened out, because, like, again, your word isn't bond. I don't sit here and claim to be some crazy guru that everything that comes out of my mouth is true, because it changes on on a day-to-day basis on reality, because what's true today can be totally different tomorrow. What I believed yesterday could totally change tomorrow, because some shit didn't happen. Like, it happens with people with religion all the time. They're like, oh, I believe in God and blah, blah, blah. And then their significant other and their child dies in a car crash. And they're like, oh, I don't believe in God anymore. And it's like, oh, well, what happened? You believed in him yesterday. So, am I making sense, or am I just ranting? Am I just rambling? I'm always just rambling. She's like, girl, it's just you. You're just rambling. Just mighty, mighty rambler. Ah.
I needed this so much, and it was really helpful.
Oh,
Thank
well, I'm glad that I helped you, honey. I know you were probably laughing at me more than with me, but it's okay. As long as you feel better.
you. Always with you, girl.
Because I'll be trying. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but that's the reason why I started this. Because, like, when COVID hit, and we didn't have health care and stuff like that, I was like, I need to talk to somebody. Because if I'm venting about Matt, I can't vent to Matt about himself. How is, you know what I mean? How is he gonna help me with himself? Like, oh well, the reason why I had did that then was because maybe he had did that. Who is he? You talking about yourself in third person? What is happening? What? Get your life. So I was like, I needed to, like, and then in a way to, like, help myself was to also, like, help other people. And, like, I posted this, like, everywhere that I could. And but I'm glad that you showed up. Because you weren't the only person that was like, yeah, are you still doing those mental health stats? And I was like, yeah, I didn't do it last month, but yeah. So I was like, let me do it in impromptu one. Because, shit. And plus, I've been struggling this week. So I was like, yeah, I needed it too. Sometimes it just helps to just get it out. Even if you have to get it out more than once, if you have to repeat the same thing to 2, 4, 12 different people, and as long as it's still in there, it still bothers you. So once you stop venting about it, then you're over it. And that's just kind of how I see stuff. And Matt's like, you told me this already. You vented about this already. I know, but it still bothers me. You think just because I vented to you once that it's just whoo, it's all better now. It's just it's gone, and I ain't got to worry about nothing. That's not how this works, baby. What? Is it because I'm not paying attention to you? Who you looking at? Who's over there? But yeah, so yes, baby. Ow, 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 ow. You just gonna claw me to death? Like, what are you doing? He wants attention. He's just like, you're not betting me. No one loves the bow. Yes, Bobo. Oh, now you're all happy. You,
He's so loving.
I know. He's just like, you're paying too much attention to other people and not to the ball. I'm just gonna swallow you to death until you give me some love. Ain't that right, Bubba? Ain't that right, Sugar? He's like, Sugar, come on. Yes, Bubba. But yeah. But yeah, like, getting back to what I was saying, I just think it's important, like when you're venting, or at least when I'm venting, you know, to be as honest and true to it as possible. Don't just be like, if for instance, if I'm mad at Matt, it would be dishonest of me to be like, oh, well, he did this and he did this and he did this, and I didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? Because that's untrue. Of course, you said something or you did something. You know, you've got to wait, honey. So it's like, yeah, he said that, and then this is how I reacted, and then and then that also gives me like some insight, because then if I tell other people, then they're like, yeah, that wasn't cool what he did, blah blah blah, or they're like, okay, but girl, how you reacted was real fucked up. You probably shouldn't have done that, and you owe that fool an apology. It gives me a chance to like break it down, because then they're like, yeah, you were being the asshole, not him, you. And it's like, okay, man, I'm sorry. So, it, yeah. And then that also helps me, because it's like, and I've told him, I'm like, my friends will tell me if I'm being a dick. If I'm being a dick to you, if I'm venting about what transpired between us, and it's like, yeah, well, you probably shouldn't have said that, but you really went way off the reservation, girl. You're like, okay, I'm sorry. And it's like, don't apologize, just be better. I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. Relationships are hard. They are not easy, but if they were easy, they wouldn't be worth it, I guess. I told him last night, I was like, I love you to death, but you drive me fucking crazy. And he was like, same thing. He's high as hell. I'm like, okay, whatever. Oh, what time is it? I have a headache. I don't know why. And I ate, or, well, I had like well, part of a piece of pizza. I don't think I'm still hungry. Oh, I just don't know what to do with myself now. I'm trying to like. Have you ever seen Priscilla, Queen of the Desert?
Still a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean the I was he loves that fucking movie, and I'm like, I've only seen it once, honey, and he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I've only seen it once. I don't know what's going on, and so we watched it again the other day, and so what's his name? The Guy Pierce, like his the like his makeup, like at the very end, is just on point. I'm like, I need to take some screenshots of that and try and like redo that makeup. But Hugh Laurie, is that his name? The guy from Lord of the Rings, dude. Like, who was his makeup design? Who did his makeup? Like, who? Because I'm like, and it's not his face. It's not because his mouth is really big, or his. I mean, I'm oddly attracted to his odd lookingness. And I don't know why, but but it's like they could have done his makeup so much better. I was just like, why does it look like a 2-year old like drew on his makeup? Like, what happened? Like I said, Guy Pearce is. I would have fucked him in the makeup. I'm sorry, I would. Hey, because I mean, he's hot anyway, but with the makeup, I was like, you go, girl, you go. But But and of course the old dudes, it was like, what is going on over there? But his was just like his lips were like this big, and I was like, why did they do your makeup like that? Why? Like, uh, I'm so sad. I don't know. I'm so sad. Like with I hate the end. I mean, I do love the movie, but I hate the makeup. I just hate it on him because I'm like, they just fucked him over. I don't know if they did that on purpose or I don't know. It should have gotten better by the end, but it just got worse. At the end, it was just like when they were got the butterfly costumes. Like I said, Guy Pearce's was just on point. I was like, you go, but everybody else's was just like, I don't know what happened. I was so sad. Here I go rambling again. But no, seriously, we got to get together soon. Yeah, I don't have any other Saturdays off until I request one off unless they change my schedule. But I get off on Saturdays after 4 at 4, so I'm home by like 4:30, if not before, because it's not very far away from my house. And then the days that I do work, I get off at 6, so I'm home by like 6:30. So get some drinking on. I was thinking of having like a little movie night. I don't know what we could watch, but of course I'm a horror film. I'm a horror lover. I don't know if you like horror, but she's like,
It
girl,
doesn't bother me.
okay, cool. Because I'm
I just
like,
can't do any kind of romantic anything right now.
oh, I'm fine with that. A romantic horror film. I loved you. As he's falling off the mountain, dying. So, no, no, you little jerk off. He got it again. Ugh, this it smells all weird. Ugh, smells like your funky breath. You just fucked it up. Oh my god. Ugh, this is horrible. Ugh, how did you do this? What kind of mess? Ugh, I'm gonna have to figure this out before I can make some more the macrame plant holder thingies. Ugh, can't believe this. What? Whoa, wait. Ugh, I don't know what to do with this dog. Like I said, it's just like I'm just gonna kill everything with fire. Ah! Ugh, it smells like your funky little breath. If I put it in here, maybe you can't smell it or get it. Move. And then I'll hear the plastic crinkle when you bite into it. Ugh, okay. How long have we been going? Oh my goodness. It's been almost like an hour and 15 minutes. All right. All right. Well, let me let you go, darling. I gotta go and prep dinner here, and it's raining. I'm pretty sure I've got rain coming in. I've got a flood in my upstairs bedroom. I know, because I was down here and it's upstairs. But it's his side of the bed that's all wet. Huh? Well, it is. His side of the bed is right by the window, so it's all wet. It's probably all soaking wet. He's gonna be like, oh shit. Be like, well, Merry Christmas. I'm sorry, I was busy. I was having a heart to heart, and I helped someone today. Aren't you proud of me? See, even my job so far, like they pulled me aside the other day, and I haven't told Matt yet, but they were like, since you've been working here, we are really, really lucky to have you because, and I almost started crying. I was like, no, don't do it. They were like, because you pay such attention to detail and you try and make like all the flowers and all the plants like look great and stuff, and I'm like, well, this is where I work, if I was to walk by and saw like a crunchy ass plant, I wouldn't want to buy that plant. So I try to make it as cute as possible. Some people will buy it because that puts money in our pocket, therefore putting money in my pocket. So, you got to be, make it look better than how you found it. And he's like, they're like, yeah. And like, you clean up after yourself and, make things look better. And I'm like, well, that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do here. And they're like, but yeah, we're so happy that, and you're not lazy. You're always doing something. And I'm like, you always find something to do. And I'm like, that's me. I try. But yeah, I was like, oh, so I was all happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
but
Always good.
I know. That's
Especially
good.
after what you've been through with the other job.
Hmm. But yeah. But all right, Chicky, I'm gonna let you go so I can get ready for this concert here, and hopefully it doesn't like freeze us to death. I don't know how long it's gonna rain. I'm gonna try and throw a bucket outside so I can get some of this rainwater for my plants because I know that's really good for plants. So it's good for hair too, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I get. If I can get a whole bunch, I'll be like, I'll use some for plants and some for my hair. Because if my hair really grows from, or I'll just run outside and just get some water on my hair. I gotta just retwist it tomorrow because it's just like all crazy. But look how long it's getting.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm like, yay! It's almost to my boob. It's almost there. I gotta push it up though. What? She said, "You are a fool. Just get off of my screen." All right, darling. All right.
See you soon.
All right. Bye. Oh, that was fun. Get another, set up another one here fairly soon, but not today. But anyway, for everybody who came in, and if they did come in, or if you will check it out later, I'm so sorry. Look at my hair. It is, I should have apologized for my hair earlier, but I don't care. I don't care. Look at that. That just looks crazy. Uh, Holy snaps. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go live on TikTok if you guys want to see me there. It is Kanya BB, KANYABBEE. So yeah, um, yeah. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Ah, stop that.